11:11, and here we all are. We are just gathering here, and I am doing a couple little things. Stephanie is making pumpkin pie and some, traditional things for us to bring to the family for our Thanksgiving gathering tomorrow. Since we're in the U.S., we do the Thanksgiving tradition. So I'm just calling up something on YouTube really quick. Something happened at the last second, of course, and that's not a problem. Oops. Okay, it sounds like we have audio. Sounds good. And it's the little chat feature that I'm popping out so that we can highlight people's comments and whatnot. Okay, well, we're all gathering. You guys, welcome. We'll get started in just a second. I'm doing one little technical thing. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of fun to get this going so that we can highlight people's chat and whatnot. Okay, that should do that. And then we take our little chat feature. I'm just going to... No, that's not it. Well, we will see if we can get this. Back to what we were doing. Welcome to another Wednesday session. Bliss's Blessings from the Dragon. And we gather here every Wednesday for a reading and blessings or activations as appropriate, an energetic update for all those gathered. And if you guys could please make sure that everything... Yeah, okay, somebody's saying the sound is good. We like it. Yeah, I think we finally dialed in, hopefully, our settings. It's a little tricky when there's two of us. Stephanie's not here right now. Then we have to run two microphones, and they can't echo off of each other, and it's technical fun. But this today is a single microphone. Should be pretty easy. Okay, so let's get going. For those of you gathered, welcome. And let us first say that for those of you who are in the U.S., I think Canada's already done Thanksgiving back in October. But for our U.S. viewers and anyone who loves to participate in the tradition of Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. Tomorrow will be a day of gratitude for all of the abundance and beauty and love that we have in our lives, and for all the good things. And it's wonderful to gather with people you care deeply about and share the energies of gratitude, because as Jadon Se has said so many times, gratitude is the doorway to abundance. So if you don't have gratitude for what you've already been given by the divine, it kind of slams the door on abundance for you. So carrying that energy is beautiful, and once a year we kind of make a celebration out of it. So it's beautiful. Okay, so Jadon Se is going to come in, but first, before we do that, we'll do our little announcements, and while we're doing the announcements and everyone's gathering, then we'll do shout-outs after that. So announcements are the upcoming class. Lauren Galey has a network called New Earth One Network, and she does interviews of interesting people, and she also hosts master classes and things for any sort of events that have to do with the people she features on her network. So we've been invited to do a master class, and we're going to be doing that on December 4th. I believe that's a Thursday at 3 p.m. You can go to the New Earth One Network and just go under upcoming events, and you'll see the little familiar Working with Dragon Energies tile. We're doing an intro to Working with Dragon Energies there, and this is a perfect class. It's a 2-hour class for anyone who thinks they might be interested in working with Dragon Energies. Those of you who have taken the level 1 class, you've already covered all this material. But if you want to introduce this to someone in a less daunting format and a more affordable format even. Just have them go to the New Earth One network and look at upcoming events and sign up for our class. And this is good because it'll widen the audience to for more light workers. It just makes us more available to other dragon workers, dragon keepers, people who have been working with dragon energies or want to work more effectively. Why am I doing this today? Work more effectively with the dragon energies. And so we're going to have a 2-hour primer. It's basically intro to working with dragon energies on the New Earth One network. Okay, enough with that. The apps are still available. You can go to the Google Play Store for our Oracle deck. It's a Jadon Se Golden Dragon Oracle deck, and the app also has, each card has an audio reading from Jadon Se, and he often says, "I'm in that deck," along with an archangel who will remain unmentioned for now. And anyway, when people pull these cards, even though it's on your device, it's still an oracle deck. You're still feeling into which card you're pulling, and Jadon Se will come through with guidance. And if you wish, you can hear his voice giving you the guidance, or you can just read the guidance that comes with each card. That is available on Google Play Store. Just search for Golden Dragon Oracle Deck, and you'll find it there. And if you want it on iOS, we're still wrestling with Apple to get it up on their store. They think that the category is oversaturated, so and there are a lot of Oracle decks up there, but they're making it into a gated, a walled garden, I guess you'd call it. Anyway, we're trying to jump over the wall and get into the store. Until we can do that, we have to push out our app manually, which we can do using an app called Test Flight, where it allows you to install it on your phone, and we just update it every 90 days, and we have to add you to our user list and all that. So it's just more manual. But you can get that at jadonse.com. So that's JADONSE.com. And just go into the little store section. You'll see the Oracle Deck app there. Okay, any other, let's see, the December classes for level 1 are steadily filling up, and you still can get in for our suggested donation of 88, or contact us if you can't afford that, or you still want to get in the class. If you're really called to work with the dragon energies, this is your last chance to do the prerequisite level 1 class before our level 2 classes start early next year. So if you miss this opportunity, you'll have to wait until that whole cycle happens, and then after the level 2 class, we'll offer another level 1 sometime maybe in February, I believe. So if you want to stay up to date in what's going on in this little dragon tribe, sign up for those classes. If you haven't already done the level 1, this is your chance. And you can sign up for the classes also at jadonse.com, JADONSE.com, down in the little store section. First class is December 7th, and then it goes every Sunday after that. And we check the calendar. It shouldn't interfere with holidays, we're hoping. Okay, so that's it for announcements. Let's do some shout-outs. Who is in the house? Let's see, where are you? Let us know where in the world you are today, where on this beautiful Gaia, what part of the planet. It's really fun to hear from all of you and to understand where everyone is, because we can feel this grid that happens with it. It's just kind of magical. So please shout out where you are right now. We have Groves, Texas in the house. And I know there's more of you out there, so shout it out. I'm sure some people are getting ready for holidays and whatnot. We have Folsom, California in the house. Who else is out there today in this moment of now? I think I see perhaps someone from South Africa there. We have Woodstock, Georgia, Queensland, Australia, San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. We have New Hampshire in the house, London, England in the house, Amsterdam, Netherlands in the house, Belgium, Aarschot. I'm not sure Usually you're in Leuven, I believe, but I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Okay, we have Worcester, Massachusetts, Cape Town, South Africa. Another person from Cape Town, South Africa. Beautiful. Let's see. Another South African. Wow, South Africa is well represented. There's three of you today. Beautiful. So we are the dragon grid will be shifting with the weight of those three down there. It's we plotted this out in our class. It's a lot of fun to see how the dragon grid responds to gatherings like this. So very good, beautiful. So let us just go ahead and bring in Jadon Se, and for those of you who give permission for him to read your energies, he'll do a reading for all of you gathered here, whatever's appropriate. So let me drop in. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the third arc of consciousness, and this is another Blessings from the Dragon gathering. We gather here every Wednesday at 11:11 Pacific time for an energetic reading, blessings and activations for those gathered. And there are some energies gathering today that we wish to speak about. Many of you have been doing so much beautiful inner work to release burdens, you might say. We have passed through what we called an energetic gateway, almost like a boarding ramp onto an aircraft, and we are now moving rapidly into the golden age. And dear ones, this is indeed the case. So much has changed since our last gathering. There is so much energy shifting right now in this your world. Dear ones, you now have, the switch has been thrown on a new financial system. Global transactions are different now. And this is, let us just say that what you are hearing in your news media is just barely the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. It is an entirely from the ground up, brand new system that has been running, let us say, parallel to your legacy system, you can call it now, for quite some time, mirroring the transactions and whatnot. And now that the switch has been thrown, there is a great shift, dear ones. This is only your financial systems that we are speaking about so far. There are so many shifts occurring around your globe right now. New technologies being rolled out, long suppressed technologies, you might say. Let us say that the grip on control of the narrative of this world, a forced story, you might say, is relaxing. That grip, the hand is very tired and cannot keep up with the pressure on it. And let us just say that energies of limitation are falling away rapidly. And because of this, long suppressed technologies, long suppressed information, knowledge, understandings are coming to light. Many of what those of you who are beholding others wake up to, many of these issues are still yet to be resolved. Some of the inappropriate activities on your world now have bright light shining on them. Let us just say that there are certain toxins and poisons that will be very rapidly dealt with now. You have had help throughout the entire age of limitation to keep any of these inappropriate actions, let us say, to a minimum, and or at least minimum damage to your beautiful Gaia and all of her inhabitants. There would be much more carnage, let us say, if it were not for the assistance from the divine and from your star families, from the dragon realms, and all of the elementals and magical animals and kingdoms, and yes, even your cetaceans and beautiful animals of this world have been responding to these energies of lack and limitation and control, let us say. These are falling away, and rapidly now. Dear ones, do you realize? Can you see? Many of you have been just peering under the covers a little bit and looking and doing a little research and seeing, oh, indeed, these new technologies are being rolled out. The financial system is shifting. Beautiful energies and healing modalities are being revealed. There is, yes, disclosure about your star families, the nature of the cosmos. All of this is shifting, dear ones, and it is time to be thankful for this, for it has been the work of you all and like-minded and beautiful, benevolent, we call them white hat beings upon this world. Many of you, dear ones, deserve a major pat on the back for all of the, let us say, connected lifetimes where you showed up and moved the needle, so to speak. Dear ones, you are all in some way system busters. You are those who are concerned with restoring appropriateness to this world, ushering in the golden age. And for many of you, it has been many, many connected lifetimes of moving the needle here and there as you can, speaking the truth to power, sometimes being martyred for this. And it has all been worth it, dear ones. You have, along with your fellow white hats and light workers, you might say, dragon keepers, you have accomplished so much, dear ones. It is due to your work and the work of like-minded beings that we have crossed this threshold. And it is, let us say, we have passed the point of no return. We are inevitably striding into this golden dawn, and many of you are flying, yes, at very rapid speeds into great abundance and beauty and joy, creativity, beautiful times to come. And dear ones, every one of you deserves it. Please, if there is anything lingering that makes you feel like there is work undone, that you do not deserve this karma to pay off, whatever it is, please drop all of this and know that you are heroes in some way, shape, or form. Your efforts are directly responsible for the world you are seeing. These shifts always happen from within first, and then you see them mirrored without. Beautiful. For those of you joining, please shout out where you are from. If you look on the chat, you can see who is gathered here today. And dear ones, let us just read a little bit about your energies, for yes, the whole entire situation is shifting, and beautiful energies have been released or are breaking free of their stuckness, let us say, and are moving back to their appropriate balance. And this is how the golden age accelerates, dear one. Restoring energies to where they are appropriate, where they need to go and where they need to flow. Yes, dear ones. And for this, those of you gathered, let us just say, many of you and most of you in some way energetically have been distracted a little by the world and things in your life, daily happenings, let us say. This is a time to regain focus. It is a time where become a little more aware of the distractions that are pulling you away from bringing in your dreams, your highest dreams, not little dreams like I want this or that for the holidays or this sort of thing. No, dear ones, great dreams of your new life, your new timeline, your highest timeline, and your greatest service to eternity, whether that be to service to make your own story its greatest version of itself, or also being of assistance to humanity, to Gaia, to animals and beings, and to those in need. Dear ones, let us dream big. Let us not be distracted by small, shiny objects, let us say. And for this, there is no better way than to take this time of gratitude, this Thanksgiving for you, those of you in the United States and those of you who celebrate such a gathering. Give thanks. And even those of you who are not gathering with loved ones, be grateful. Show gratitude for your daily cup routine, your morning cup, or your own practice of gratitude. Keep your heart wide open for more abundance and greater things to come, let us say. Let us move from this gratitude into a beautiful trust of the divine, a trust that things are moving in a very good direction, even if there are still pockets of chaos and there's still, let us say, some unrest here and there, and it may even get a little bit more intense at times as those around wake up and realize how these inappropriate energies have been controlling things for so long. And this is necessary, dear ones, to do this cleanup on aisle 4, you might say. Yes, there's a big mess. Somebody has dropped a honey pot or a jar of honey, and it is very gooey and sticky on aisle 4. And somebody has been throwing produce in the aisles in the produce section. And it is, let us just say, there are some nasty little messes that need to be cleaned up. And this is beautiful. The lights are on. Everything is in place to clean these aisles up and to, let us say, restore beauty to this golden age. And so, as we see it, do not stare too deeply into that pile of goo. It is being cleaned up. It is not your future. It is not a sign that things are getting worse. It is simply that it is a time of regathering and, yes, dear ones, restoring the flow of appropriate energies and benevolent, loving kindness. Trust the divine has a purpose, dear ones. Trust that this is happening appropriately. Trust that there is assistance, that so many like you are awake and more are awakening every day. There is a grand awakening happening right now, dear ones. Those whom you may have even given up hope on, who were so skeptical and hard-headed and 3D based, and those who have been fooled by the narrative so deeply that they seem like they are hopelessly brainwashed. No, dear ones, everyone is beginning to awaken on some level. It is inevitable that all shall awaken, and any even that still have their heads buried in the sand, like your ostrich, whatever that bird is that buries its head in the sand, even those, dear ones, will be lovingly nudged and let us just say, with ease and grace, those who need to be waking up are waking right now. And those who are, let us say, like to sleep in late and pull the covers over their head and say, go away, well, be gentle with them, dear ones. They will awaken. Just make some hot beverage that smells very good or something like this, and hopefully they will come out of from under their covers. It is beautiful. Dear ones, since you are all gathered here, are very awakened on many levels, very aware of what is happening, and beautifully positioned to shine your light and to let your hearts open wide for this great golden age. Dear ones, as your heart opens to this, it is an opportunity to pray. This word is, you can substitute what you wish, intend, meditate, commune with your higher self, whatever it is you wish to say, let this opportunity of this heart opening allow you to speak with a clearer voice to the greater higher self, the divine, God, the angels. Substitute your words here, dear ones. Just pray. Your heartfelt, focused intentions have more power than they ever had in your life. They are, let us say, much enhanced and will continue to grow in enhancement. So, if you have given up on stating your intentions and feeling them in your heart and trying to glow with them and all of that, if it seems like in past times you tried this and it didn't work very well for you, it is time for you to try this again, dear ones. Try it. Make sure that you are feeling these intentions. Make sure that they are from the heart as well as in your inner vision and your creative self, and all of this needs to line up so that your voice is clear and heard in the realms of the divine, you might say. It is a time to do this. Do your gratitude first, and your gratitude opens this heart wide, dear ones. Feel it. Do not just say what you are grateful for. Feel the gratitude. Feel the support. And as your heart opens, there is an opportunity for that flow to go both ways. Inward, this gratitude, and outward into eternity, to call in that which you intend on your highest timeline for the greatest good in the eyes of the highest divine, on your pathway, this golden pathway into the golden age, your highest dreams, dear ones. If it is natural for you to begin with dreaming things that are for your life or your dwelling or your abundance, it is fine. Do not feel guilty. You do not need to serve others first, so long as service to others is part of your DNA, so to speak. Gather your forces, build up your little nest, let us say, your base of operations, so that you can be of even greater service. And as you do this, dear ones, you will see the universe is tripping all over itself to try to help right now. So many energies are there for support. Just reach out. You need to align. The universe will not do what you haven't identified as your greatest good for you. It is for you to identify this, to feel into it, to call out to your higher, greater self with your heart and your soul and your entire being. And then, dear ones, the response will come, and it is coming. By the time you have aligned to call out for something, it is already being prepared for you. This is the energetic we are in now, dear ones. It is beautiful that we have come across this threshold, and because of this, it is also a time to be gentle with yourself, to if you're still carrying any sort of guilt or shame, anything you feel you could have done better, or if you still feel caught up in some sort of karma or ancestral debt or whatever it is that you're carrying with you, please continue to unburden yourself of these. Dear ones, realize that concepts such as karma, they are intended, and you can substitute whatever words you wish, sin and forgiveness from sin, or the wheel of karma, or any of this, samsara, or whatever. You can, dear ones, understand that these were in place during these times of limitation and density, you might say, in order to encourage those to not sink too far into the density, into suffering and pain, and too many different avenues of darkness. Those systems were designed, say karma, for example, designed to lovingly nudge these beings into seeing seeing that their choices were creating suffering and harm for themselves and others. And dear ones, once you come back up through and into this light again, these systems are no longer needed. These guardrails can be left behind. You can say to yourself, if you feel stuck in karma, karma was for the times of density. I am no longer even capable of being that inappropriate, for I have learned all of these lessons, and therefore karma is no longer needed. It is sort of like a curfew or something that is placed upon teenagers until they are acting appropriately or making choices that are not destructive. And then the curfew, as they become adults, is no longer applied to them. It is somewhat like this. It is, you no longer need to feel guilt or shame for anything in the past. It is all forgiven. All debts are erased, dear ones. You are free. You can just move towards your dreams without needing any sort of recompense or payment for this. You do not have any debts owed or any burdens that you must carry. There is no shame upon you. And, dear ones, some of you gathered here do still carry some of this. And so this golden cosmic dragon is lovingly nudging you to drop the weight, drop the burdens that still remain. They are not necessary, dear ones. And anyone of you who feels that they are looping, that they keep coming into this cycle of fear or pain or shame or what have you. They feel like they make some progress and step into the light, but then get dragged back into the heaviness. Dear ones, this is no longer necessary. There is no more looping other than your own belief in the looping. So if you think that you are being pulled backwards or that there is some sort of, you are stuck in a loop or something like this, look at that. That is what you need to drop, dear ones. The very concept that you are stuck in a loop is what you need to drop. Very good, dear ones. This is a time for celebration, gratitude. Yes, dear ones, loving kindness, helping those around you. Yes, have a feast if that is appropriate to you, or feast yourself on a good book if that is more appropriate, or feast yourself on the most beautiful meditation, or the most beautiful place on Gaia, or whatever it is. Be good to yourselves the next few days, dear ones. Gratitude is the name of the game right now. And then again, regain your focus. Do not get distracted by life and things that are of lesser importance, let us say. Trust that there is a purpose, that it is all unfolding, and that it is good, even if it looks like chaos is still broiling around you. Trust that there are cleanups on aisles 4 and 6 in the produce department. And dear ones, gratitude and prayer. This is where you are heading. For the rest of this year, gratitude and prayer will take you so far, dear ones. You will see how much support just comes sweeping in. And for those of you who are saying, well, what about this financial system and all of these new technologies, and when are they going to hit? We've been hearing about this for so long, and I'm tired of waiting. Dear ones, do not tap your foot. Do not look out the window for the delivery truck to show up with your free energy device. Just know that these are all being rolled out. It is not a waiting game anymore. It is happening. And if you must, look beneath the covers and delve into, do a little research and see that all these technologies are appearing. Do a little research about the financial system or whatever you need to do to convince yourself there is movement. because there is large scale movement, dear ones. You might even call it seismic shifts, but not for a shaky earth, for a more solid earth. This is the situation as it is now. Very good. Your dearest Stephen and Stephanie will be getting on the road to see Stephanie's family for this gathering. So we will not make this a long one. We will try to cut it, let us say, time is so strange. We are trying to complete this by just a little after your noon, so perhaps a half an hour now of questions, blessings, requests for activation, etc., or clarification on what was read just now. Yes, dear ones, let us keep it from specific personal questions at this time, and just let us speak about the general energetic that is here now, perhaps anything that needs to be clarified or optimized. And in the chat, you can put something in uppercase. Very, very good. While we are waiting for you to do this, we will try this this little live chat window thing, and see what is happening here. Yes, greetings indeed. I felt my mind try to pull me back into that loop you described. I'm happy you are granting me so much encouragement today. Dear ones, many of you have been in these loops. This is something that many light workers have struggled with, and dragon keepers are no different, where because for so many lifetimes you have spoken truth to power and been martyred for it, perhaps executed in public, even tortured, burned at the stake, or what have you, or sometimes more subtle oppression, like being banned from your village and having to go live in a hut halfway up the mountain for they think you are crazy or some witch or wizard. There are so many times, so many connected lifetimes, let us say, where being of service and moving the needle positively has backfired, so to speak, or has caused suffering to you. You knew going into those lifetimes that you would be oppressed or shut down by the powers of the day, and you chose to do this anyway because it did move the needle and it did make a difference. And however, many of you carry a little bit of, shall we say, damage from this. Let us say that it is, some of you have the belief that every time you make 2 steps forward, something is going to reach out to grab you 1 or 2 steps back. And it is because you carry this memory or belief or feeling from connected lifetimes that you are actually calling this in on some level. And so it is important to know that not only is this golden dragon giving you this beautiful message that the looping will end and is ending, you also need to keep it from happening within you, dear ones. For you have it within you, with your beliefs being as powerful and strong as they are. If you have the belief that something is pulling you backward, dear one, you will call that in and experience it. So your work then is to fully realize, or more fully realize, that those energies have changed and shifted. There is no hand back there pulling you backwards. It is only your own ghost from the past, you might say. And so your work then, if you are experiencing this, your work is to lovingly let go of that loop, so to speak. Lovingly realize that even if there are any dark energies left these days, and there are a few here and there, scattered remnants, and many of them are still trying to claw onto the old ways, and it will pass. Even if there are a few of those out there, dear ones, there is no grand campaign to find and shut you down any longer. They have bigger fish to fry, so to speak, contemplating their surrender, you might say. It is, they are no longer able to persecute many. And so it is more likely that you are doing some form of self-sabotage if you see these influences in your life. So your work is to identify that. Could we receive a blessing to clear any blocks to the union of the divine masculine and feminine within us, and for the embodiment of our divinity? Much love and gratitude. Dear one, the only blocks that you carry are your own, and there are many of them very subtle, let us say. It is almost like as you're walking through a crowd, people are slipping little stones into your pockets to weigh you down, and you don't notice any one of the stones, and then eventually you feel like just the weight of all of this. It is like this. There are all these subtle little things that gather up over time that make one identify more with masculinity or femininity, and sometimes to the exclusion of the other. Oh, masculinity is better for, the feminine is just they're not rational and they fly off the handle, they're ungrounded, or the feminine saying the masculine is too mental and too controlling and too aggressive, and dear ones, this sort of judgment does not serve. For when you judge another, whenever you point a finger, if you hold your hand out and point right now, notice there are 3 fingers pointing right back at you. So when you judge another, you are judging yourself. And judgment of yourself is the only form of judgment that has a massive effect on you. When you judge yourself, you are limiting your own beingness, dear ones. If you judge the masculine or judge the feminine, you are judging that very thing within yourself, that very essence or attribute within you. So if you judge, I am a science-based person, I am a masculine outward, I'm going to build things, but these feelings, they get in my way, and I'm not going to be in touch with my feelings, or if I need to cry, I will never show it to anyone, I will shut it down, and feelings are bad, and these feminine beings, they're just too weak, and I'm going to be powerful and strong. And dear ones, if you do this, you are limiting your own feelings. You're limiting your own self, your own openness to your divine gifts, to divine assistance. You are making yourself smaller. And likewise, if you are doing this, saying, "Oh, only the feminine way is correct. You should always go with your heart and your feelings, and the mind is just the mind, and it's not useful, and aggressive behavior is not the way," and all of this, you are doing that for yourself as well. You are judging yourself, and you are shutting down your own ability to reason and to think and to create things for yourself, to build your dreams, to protect those around you. It is, dear ones, let us just say there is no one blessing needed to clear these blocks other than your own awareness of these blocks that you have put in your own way. Let us honor the divine and honor the feminine. And if you wish to increase your awareness of toxic male and toxic female aspects, for example, well, let us not delve too deeply into this. I think everyone knows here that there are toxic aspects to both, whether it is violence or oppressive, controlling, masculine, or gossipy, damaging through that sort of energy, whatever it is. There are toxic attributes in each of you of divine and feminine aspects. You may or may not identify as masculine or feminine. It matters very little in the end if you carry the abilities of the masculine and the feminine within each of you, you can identify any way you wish, weave your story, build your character to be masculine or feminine or whatever it is, and just know that you have access to both divine capabilities. To the divine capabilities, let us not say both, it is like a spectrum, and let us just say that you have access to the full spectrum. You can feel into your heart and your intuition. You can use your own, let us say, will force and intention, and let us say your rational being and your builder mentality, and you can be a protector and a provider. You can be in touch with beautiful, subtle energies. You can understand and have deep compassion for others and animals and dear ones. You have access to the full spectrum. So if there is a block, let us just say, this is a blessing to identify those blocks, to become aware of them so that you can lovingly unblock your own stuck energies in these ways, let us say. So throughout the rest of this gathering, there will be an undercurrent that is encouraging awareness of these areas where you judge others and therefore more harshly judge yourself. That is your blessing. That it's an awareness blessing. Yes, dear ones. What can we do to amplify our imagination? Well, dear ones, let us just unpack this for a moment. Imagination, first of all, it is a beautiful word. It is making an image into a verb. It is like I am taking this view or this picture or this scene and I'm doing something with it. I am making it an action. And so therefore, when you imagine something, you are, let us say, taking action with pictures, taking actions with an image, or what is an image? Well, we will just say that an image can be anything that symbolizes a greater concept in a powerful way. So this could be a photograph, an image, a video. It could be you opening your eyes and beholding something out in the world. This is an image that you are forming within yourself of what you gaze upon. And, dear ones, we all know that there are not only just these two physical eyes. If you shut your eyes and you say, what is a pair of scissors? Some of you can actually see inside of you right now, perhaps a silver glimmering pair of scissors, or a golden pair of scissors, or even one with jewels in it, or one with writing on it, or you can, many of you, see it in your inner vision with your eyes closed, scissors. And some of you, it is more conceptual to you. You think of scissors and you think of two opposing blades that get pinched together to cut something, and it is a little more word-based or thought-based, let us say. And this is beautiful as well. And if you can merge these two to have a greater understanding of this archetype of a scissors, then you can adorn it however you want. You could play with it. You could say, now I want to imagine scissors that have little ribbons on the handles and decorations, or I want to imagine a scissors that is a teeny tiny one for little child, or a great huge one for Sasquatch or somebody with very large hands. And you can play with this. Then you can say, I want to imagine a giant scissors the size of this solar system cutting a ribbon for the ceremony of the unveiling of this beautiful golden age for the entire solar system. And dear ones, do you see how you can do this? And you could start with something that is very, let us say, basic archetypal, easy to imagine in your mind. And if scissors is hard to imagine, start with something very basic. Start with something like a pebble, or let us say a bird feather, or it's just something that you can see in your inner vision. Try different things until you can see it. Maybe it is just a marble from your childhood. You played the game of marbles and you had one favorite one that had a little orange streak in it, or something like this, and you see that marble and you see the little orange streak in it, and it is a very simple object, but you can see it because it was so beloved to you. Or think of your very favorite X, Y, or Z and holding it in your hand, and work out from there. Once you can see the simple object, play with it. Like we said with the scissors, now I'm imagining it the size of the solar system, cutting a big ribbon for a ceremony. You can have fun with this. It is like working any muscle. The more you use it, the more powerful it gets. If you continue to do this, you will your imagination will be on fire, so to speak. And there are many of you who just have this ability. You can close your eyes and see anything very easily. Use that imagination, dear ones. Use that inner vision to understand things in new ways. Use it. It is a gift, dear ones. Can ley lines be activated from a central location, or is it required to go to multiple locations? Dear ones, ley lines or dragon lines can be operated in many different ways, and let us say in your level 2 class we are going to be playing with keys. There are different keys to dragon nodes, and not only dragon nodes but ley lines themselves. Each of them have, let us say, you can use energetic constructs, like a key, using a key to open a lock per se, or sword, let's say a sword of light to cut two energies that are tied together, as your Archangel Michael does. You can use these. There are many different constructs. We might even call them ancient artifacts that will be given that will greatly assist with this. You can also, dear ones, work with any dragon node that you have ever visited, that you have ever realized. Again, there is a difference between understanding that there is a place called Denver, Colorado, and then actually standing in Denver, Colorado, and experiencing parts of Denver, Colorado, and that the actual standing is realization, and the looking at photos or looking at it on a map or understanding that there is a place is just an understanding. So once you have realized a dragon line or a dragon node or any aspect of the dragon grid, you have a connection with that moment of now where you made the realization, and you can take this understanding and apply it to anything, dear ones. Water skiing, or anything, sewing, or just different things, recipes you have used to make beautiful food, or what have you. You can connect with the moment of now where you realized it. Let us take, for example, the recipe. Your grandmother gives you this recipe for a beautiful pumpkin pie that you are making for your Thanksgiving gathering, and she lovingly tells you that you can use aluminum foil around the rim to keep it from getting too crispy, crunchy along the rim of the crust, and keeps it nice and doughy and beautiful and crumbly. And this dragon is getting hungry talking about this. It is one thing to understand that and have someone say this to you. It is another thing to actually be making the pie crust and making the pie and sitting there with the aluminum foil. Well, how does it stay on? How does it not fall off in the oven? How does this work? And you not realize it until you have done it, and you have tasted that beautiful pie and that had the beautiful crust due to this idea. And once you have done this, dear ones, it is much easier for you to replicate this. It is the dragon nodes and dragon lines and any dragon energies. Once you have realized them, you can very easily and quickly drop back into them. Dear ones, in this case, you do not need to revisit the dragon node. You do not need to climb back up to that rock at sunrise, for you have sat there at sunrise and felt the energies rushing across the horizon through that rock, and you have felt the dragon energies flowing. You have had whatever realization that came from that experience, and that realization is yours forever. It is part of you now. You have realized it, and therefore you can tap into it, and you can draw from that realization or insert into that realization as if you were on that rock at sunrise. So you can do this, dear ones, with any realization in your life. You do not need to recreate it each time. You can tap into it and use it. This is the same for activating the dragon lines or Leylines, as you say. You do not need to be back at that location again, and it does not ever need to be a central location. Some of you can tap into dragon lines without even going to them once, for you have realized it in connected lifetimes, and that realization is close enough to you to be usable now. I hope all of this helps. What is the most effective way to use our conscious to program our unconscious? Well, dear one, the most effective thing, we cannot even call this a thing or a way, perhaps, but it is to become conscious of the program is in itself the prerequisite to all other modifications to that subconscious understanding. So let us say, or realization, so to speak. Yes, the subconscious also has realizations. This is how. Let us use the metaphor of learning how to drive a motor vehicle. When you are first learning, it is highly conscious, and then as you do it more and more, it becomes unconscious or subconscious, you might say. It is, let us say, installed within your being, this skill of driving, and it is like you have installed an app or a program into your system, and it is accessible by simply invoking the program whenever you wish. You sit down in front of a car, in front of a steering wheel, and you know exactly what to do. You do not even think about it. Your hand just goes up and turns pushes the on button or turns the key or whatever, and your foot begins to use the gas pedal, and you shift it into the right operating mode or gear or whatever. You know how to do this, and so you do not even think about it. It can be so pronounced that sometimes you might even find yourself going to the store, and instead you end up at work because you are on what you call this autopilot, because you just let your unconscious do so much for you that you forgot to override it and say, wait, I want to go to the store, not to my office. And so, dear ones, this gives you a very potent clue as to what is happening here. You have made unconscious something from your consciousness, and your consciousness can override it, or can come in and modify it, or whatever you wish. You can even completely uninstall and reinstall. Say you buy a new car that no longer has a key in it to start, or say you have a car that now has these cruise control features, and these you no longer even need to brake as often, for the car does the braking for you as long as its little camera gizmos are clean. And it is like this. You can modify the program, and you no longer need to worry about braking even so much anymore because of this new car that you have. And so it is like this, dear ones. You use your conscious always to make the changes, to make modifications, and your subconscious or your unconscious muscle memory, you might say, is simply very faithfully carrying out the installed instructions. So it is both, dear ones. You are consciously installing and modifying these to program or unprogram or modify the programs in your consciousness. It will not ever be the other way around unless you give your subconscious a little more authority. So this is where superstition starts to backfire on you. You might say, if you think that something is unlucky and then it happens in the real world, your unconscious will percolate that back and control your conscious with it. It is possible for you to give too much ability, or let us say too much control to your unconscious or subconscious. So be careful what programs you install. If you're installing beliefs that are limiting beliefs, then those beliefs will limit your conscious behavior. So it can go ones. However, the way out of this is always through the conscious. You can go back into your subconscious, unconscious, and say, ooh, I realize that I made this choice to have this superstition or to have this fear or doubt or whatever it is, and therefore I have the power to go and remove it. It no longer has power on me if I choose to revoke its power. And so, dear one, it is very important for you to understand that the conscious mind is let us say, when you are in a very good balance of what is appropriate in your energies, your conscious mind can guide what your unconscious faithfully does. Let us just say it that way. If it goes the other way around, things will go wrong pretty much every time. Very good. We're looking for more uppercase. Yes, dear ones, 1212, or there are many different numbers that have been marching across the screen for many of you. Beautiful that you have this consciousness to watch numbers. 111222. It is, yes, dear ones. Once an action has happened with an alternate incarnation, is it complete for our purposes? The idea of completion, dear ones, is tricky. For even a completion can be incomplete. Now, what is this? I am speaking in riddles. No, there are nuances here, dear ones. Completion, let us say there are different layers and levels of completion. For you might say that one step along the journey is complete, but the journey itself is incomplete at the same time. And so if you pick it apart and say this one step is complete, then it seems to be completed. However, you always have the choice to retrace your footsteps and revise that. And so what is complete? Well, dear ones, it really depends on where you are standing. If you're standing in realms of divinity, if you are in the first, second, or third arcs of consciousness, and you are in divine realms and very close to the prime creator source, all of this, then everything is always complete. There is no incompletion, for the one is the one. Unity is unity. These are complete. Is eternity or infinity minus one still infinite? That depends on who is asking and where they are standing and how they are asking the question. So if you say something is complete in another lifetime, is it complete for this lifetime? Perhaps and perhaps not. Perhaps, let us say something that was complete in one lifetime. Let us say that we won a great battle against some corruptive force in some connected lifetime, and it was completed. That the inappropriate dark energies were cleaned up and removed and restored and rebalanced, and we completed this. Dear ones, is it not possible that some version or variant of that could be in this lifetime, and that you could use that ability, that knowingness, that realization from the other lifetime to make it much simpler to complete in this lifetime? Indeed. However, it is not complete all by itself just because it happened in this connected lifetime. Do you not see that there are various layers and levels of this? It is a very complicated question in itself. Therefore, there is no one simple answer other than it is complete when it is appropriate for that lifetime. So, if you feel like you have met your love, the love of your life, and you say, she completes me, I am complete with her, and then this is a different lifetime that is connected where you have this complete love, and in this lifetime you are, say, a bachelor living with a roommate, another man or something, and she is nowhere to be seen. Is it still complete? It really depends on what aspect of your beingness you are addressing. And so, let us just say that every story is complete when it is when the viewer is satisfied that it is complete. And so, as your story seems complete, you can revise it and do it over again, or make a spin-off story, or there are many mansions in my Father's house. There are so many corridors to eternity that can be explored. And what is complete? There is the question. What is complete? Dear ones, completion is a term for the divine to use, and for anything, anyone who is operating in, let us say, illusion of separation from the divine will have a different concept of what is complete. It will be a smaller completion, a completion along the way. It is. We are going down too many rabbit holes. Let us just move on. I often feel a connection with the clouds and the sky. Sometimes it gives me happy tears. Sometimes it storms when I'm releasing. Sometimes I'm not sure if I feel anything. What is being communicated? This deep connection, dear ones, you can look at many different levels of this sort of connection. It is a connection with Gaia, yes, beautiful. It is a connection with the elements themselves. It is a connection with the divine through all of these. It is a connection with your own beingness through the sky and through storms and this and that. And dear ones, connections in and of themselves are gifts. And as you connect, say with clouds and sky, you can pull in energies that are reflected in eternity from the own swirls of your beingness. And so often these are reflections of something that is shifting within, or reminders of something that you feel needs to shift within. And so oftentimes looking in the mirror will be true and give you a true outlook of what you are seeing, and sometimes it will be distorted and clouded, so to speak, or just superficial. And so use mirrors wisely when you are looking at the clouds in the sky, when you are looking at storms or experiencing them, feeling them blow through and hearing the sounds. And what is it reflecting, dear ones? What is it reflecting? Is it reflecting a deep feeling within you? Is it is it an expression of a deep feeling within you? Or is it simply just a reminder of something that is within you? Your own storms, your own rain, your own tears, your own sunshine. Dear ones, there are so many levels to this. Feel into it. What does your heart say? Does your heart say that I am connecting with a sadness within me? Or is it my heart feels that I am connecting with a loved one that I am missing? Am I connecting with a sense of feeling like there are storms in my life that I have no control over? What is it that I am connecting with through the reflection in this particular mirror? I hope this helps. Do the king's and queen's chambers of the Great Pyramid in Giza need to be both be inhabited to activate it? Dear ones, as with anything with a capital T, and any, let us say, concept behind the thing. We are in the kingdom of thingdom when we are operating in the third and fourth dimensions and somewhat of the fifth dimension. And these things are always, let us say, multi-layered, and on the surface they are these stone pyramids and stone corridors and geometries, and well, the geometries underlie these, do they not? And also the elements that they are made out of, the type of granite and the type of stones, all of this. Then there is also the intention put into the design of this thing. What is this thing designed to do? And could it be designed to do many different things on many different levels? Perhaps the king's and the queen's chamber need to be activated for only one function of this pyramid. Perhaps another function is simply to lay the Ark of the Covenant into what is commonly called the sarcophagus in the king's chamber and activate the pyramid in a different way. Perhaps it is to lay down within this so-called sarcophagus and become quiet and turn off all the lights and go on a metaphysical journey. And perhaps all of these are absolutely true. And perhaps this entire pyramid is also an energy generation device and can power cities and even civilizations. And yes, and yes. Dear ones, the most amazing things and remarkable things on this world have various layers and facets of operation. If you look at your smartphone and you say, what does this thing do? Well, how would you answer this? It does so many different things. It can communicate with somebody across the planet. It can take pictures. It can record sounds. It can play apps that show you positions of the stars, and it can. You get the picture. There are so many different levels to just this object alone. Well, the Great Pyramid of Giza is more complex than your smartphone. Let us just say that. It has many different levels of function, and many different purposes can be accomplished through it. Do you think they would make such a big block and stack of blocks without having, with only one purpose that it accomplishes? No, dear ones. Let us just say that for your question about the king's and the queen's chamber, for your purpose, yes, they both need to be inhabited to activate. We will not explain what that purpose is right now. Could we receive a blessing to strengthen the connection between the throat and the heart? Thank you. Let us go further than this. When we just start to work on different aspects and components of body centers and energetic centers and this and that, it is like a quilt work or a patchwork. And if we are trying to wire our foot to our nose or our left hand to our the top of our head or something like this, it might serve some purpose. However, balancing all of the centers, it would be more appropriate, for then the connections can be connections that are on purpose, so to speak. Any connection you make should have a purpose, and the purpose should be clear to you. If you are connecting your throat and your let us say your throat and your heart, then you already have a purpose in mind, to speak your truth, to speak with a clear and feeling voice, to sing, to create beautiful poetry, things like this. And so there, you are asking for a very specific connection. You do not need a blessing for this, dear ones, for when you simply speak the words, connect the throat and the heart, you are already creating a connection. Simply speaking and thinking these words. Very good. Well, it is, let us say, very timely for you to be asking this, for right now the heart and the voice are so important. Let us just give you a little extra boost in energetic right now, to feel deeply into the question behind the question. Why is it that you wish to have this connection between the throat and the heart? And what will it bring me? What beautiful purposes will be accomplished by this? And let us just say that you have already opened up a corridor by speaking it. And yes, this dragon will throw the weight of the cosmos behind that intention and purpose for you and for any who wish to make any connections between your body centers. Let us just say, feel into the question behind the question. Why am I asking for this? What is it that I am accomplishing through this? And then pour it back into those very same thoughts. So let us say the question behind the question is, so that I can sing to my beloved, this one, this twin flame of mine. I wish to sing her a beautiful song, and for her to notice me because I am singing this way. And so there, you have already spoken it when you ask for this throat and heart connection to be strengthened. What you are really saying is, can I strengthen this connection with my twin flame? And so there, you have the purpose behind that connection. So when you connect your heart and your throat, your purpose is to connect more deeply with your twin flame and to let it be clear and true and ring out and be felt by her. And therefore, you have redoubled your own blessing by becoming aware of what it is that you wish to do and then connecting it through your heart and your throat. Do you see how this is? Follow your own inner guidance, dear one. You do not need an external, seemingly external, cosmic golden dragon to bless this. This will be the last question for this gathering, so that your dearest Stephanie and Stephen can get on the road soon. How do I maintain my now moment? Is it possible to instantly know when my thoughts are my own or my greater self, or is it perhaps both? Is it possible to instantly know when my thoughts are my own or my greater self, or is it perhaps both? Do you see your question? This question is less about the now moment and more about a deeper understanding of your connection between yourself and your greater self, my own or my greater self. Look at this question yourself, dear one. My own or my greater self. Do you not see that the OR in that, my own or my greater self? Is it truly or is it and? And could there be a greater self, or could there be a self that is the union of yourself and your greater self? Do you see that how you phrase the question betrays the answer right there? Feel into whether or not you are your greater self. And the word or disappears with the answer. And then, or it can also be that you have a sense of separation from your greater self. And this is illusory. Your or can appear and disappear as any good illusion can. And this sense of separation from your greater self can appear or disappear depending on your understanding, becoming, realization. And so let us begin with understanding and let it guide us to realization. What is a self? Now there is a question. Not necessarily even what is myself, what is a self? And as you get into that question, dear ones, you are taken on a journey of spirit. This was the journey your master Yeshua embarked upon and completed. And when he spoke of this journey, very few understood. I and my Father are one. This is a head scratcher to so many who have not undertaken this journey on their own. And those who have undertaken this journey understand perfectly exactly what he meant. What is the self? Now there is a question, and we will end it on this question. Let us give shout-outs as to where we are in the world. Let us not forget that we are heading off to a beautiful gratitude and celebration, or your own self journey of gratitude and realization, celebration, all of this. Where are you in the world right now? Shout it out. We wish to hear. We wish to speak this so that we can connect in this beautiful way. Please, where are you in the world right now? Shout this out. We are waiting for this to happen on your chat. And while we are waiting, we will just say that be grateful. Anatolia, Turkey. Groves, Texas. Beautiful. We are in Los Angeles, California. We are in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. We are in Mazda. Beautiful. That must mean from a Mazda automobile. We are in Belgium, Holdenburg, Belgium now. This person is traveling. Utah, Johannesburg, Blue Ridge Mountains, beautiful. Florida, Woodstock, Georgia, Massachusetts. Stephen had to sneeze there. And where else are we in the world right now? South Africa, yes, Cape Town, South Africa. Very good, beautiful. Amsterdam, Netherlands. Where in the world are we? Houston, Texas. Beautiful. Shout it out. Where are you right now? We know that there are at least 3 of you in South Africa. Very good. Thank you all for gathering. Please enjoy this season of gratitude. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 here on Pacific time, and we will talk to you again very soon.